All right, how y'all guys doing? I'm back with another video. Okay, so this situation got brought back up because I guess he's been like charged or whatever. But okay, you remember the guy? It's okay. This the headlines. College football player charged with murder of trans woman. He claims catfished him on Tinder. Okay, and remember in Virginia Tech linebacker Etute. I think that's how you say his name. Iceman David Etute. Sorry if I got that wrong. But it says here, Iceman David Atute, a freshman who was recruited to play linebacker at Virginia Tech, was hit with second-degree murder charges in the death of Jerry Paul Smith in May. A grand jury returned the indictment on Wednesday. Atute, who was arrested back in June for the May 31st killing, he said that Smith presented himself as a woman named Angie on Tinder. Under the purported assumption that Smith was a woman, Atute 18 said they got together in April and had, fellatio, sex, the next month. Atute said he suspected Smith 40. Hold up, down. It says he said that Smith presented himself as a woman named Angie on Tinder under the purported assumption that Smith was a woman. Okay, gotcha. Atute said he suspected Smith, 40 years old, Smith, was not a biological woman and according to the Roanoke Times, groped Smith to try to determine is gender, use his phone, uh, to try to determine his gender, I'm sorry. Use his phone's flashlight to get a better look at Smith in the dark apartment, then begin punching him. Okay? That's what happened. So now here's what they're saying here. The phenomenon described by Etute is casually referred to as catfishing, a popular slang term for a person pretending to be someone who they are not on social media. We all know that. According to Virginia law, a conviction for second-degree murder is punishable by up to 40 years in prison and no fewer than 5 years. Etute was arrested and suspended from the team. He was ultimately freed on a $75,000 bond and allowed to live with his family in Virginia Beach, but the indictment could threaten his freedom until the trial begins. A preliminary hearing has been scheduled for November 18th. I want to follow that one. The nature of Smith's brutal killing rocked the quiet college town of Blacksburg. During a hearing in June, shortly after the killing, Assistant Commonwealth Attorney Jason Morgan said Atute was stomping Smith, who was left bubbling and gurgling on his floor at his home in Blacksburg. Morgan said every bone in Smith's face was broken, wow, including having his teeth knocked out along with fractures of the cranium. Atute's defense attorney seemed to blame the victim during the hearing back in June. Basically saying, he says, well, I quote, nobody deserves to die, but I don't mind saying, don't pretend you are something that you are not. Jimmy Turk said at the time, don't target a lure anyone under the perception that's just wrong. Okay, so let me just get into this and I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Um, I already knew this was fishy and I didn't believe it because I already know how a lot of people, it's not just black men in sports and all, people period. I know how they get down. Okay, a lot of men are into that type of stuff. Trans or cross dressers or feminine men, and they're into that, but they're uncomfortable with sometimes letting the world know, or oftentimes. Okay, and so sometimes you can have a relationship with like a trans, or sometimes you can be involved, somebody found out, or sometimes you can just act out on what you like, and then when you have your orgasm you feel guilty and angry and you snap. Okay, there could be so many different reasons, and what they try to do is often they lie and say, "Oh, I didn't know." They tricked them, and because trans are a minority, and a lot of people don't like them, or they think they're weird or disgusted by them, they don't care to do deeper investigation or use common sense. They just run with what that person is saying. They tricked me. They tricked me. Even if you look like Shaq with a wig on. Let's be very clear. Y'all see the picture that I got up. That man, I mean Jerry Smith, word on the curb, he wasn't even trans. He was a cross-dresser. That's what they're really saying. The family saying he was a cross-dresser, not trans. Okay? So, how do you not know? Okay? So, let's just take it back from the beginning. For some of the slow people who want to go along with the flow and, oh, I didn't know. Well, why would he beat him up and kill him like that if he didn't know? Child, please, let's take this from the beginning. So, you on Tinder, right? Male and female are on there. It's you're not gonna find transgenders on there back to back like that. You know why? Because first of all, if transgenders are on there, more than likely they're gonna tell the truth and let you know that they're trans. Okay? Or they'll just go to a site where it is for trans. You're not gonna find a whole lot of trans on there versus natural born woman. So you mean to tell me, out of all the, it's reported, like I saw that he had to drive like 35 minutes or so. So out of all the radius, you know, those things, they'll tell you which one is the closest. So out of all other women that is close to you, you manage to get the one that's 35 minutes away that you got to drive. And all you getting is hate. I would like to know what that conversation was like. Because all this stuff is what etute is saying happened. They got to go to court and figure all this stuff out. I want to know what the conversation said in the Tinder app. But like I said, you mean to tell me you got the one that is far with 35 minutes? That's kind of far. Because if I'm on a gay app, they'll have one 2 miles away, 1 mile away. He's not a bad looking guy. So you get one that's 35 minutes away, you got to drive at night. 35 minutes you got to drive. And all that person want to do is give you fellatio. And you want me to believe that all this, like, it's too lined up too perfectly for you to just say, oh, I didn't know and all this stuff. No, that's BS. You knew. I don't care what nobody say. I believe this man knew. Now, if there's evidence that proves otherwise, then cool. And shut me up. But as of right now, it's just not making any sense. And I've seen this game before that they do with other trans or crossdressers or whatever. They play these games and act, oh, well, I didn't know. You weren't sure. You went to this house and you got the, fellatio done. He went down on you. I don't care if you see how that man, I don't care what wig he put on his head, how much he shaved. Especially when you're just a crossdresser, because you're just that, a crossdresser. Yes, you could try to make yourself up like a woman, but come on now. I've seen actual trans in still shots that look doggone good, but when you see them in person, when they start moving and talking and just their movements and all, you can tell it's a man. Or how they walk and how they fix up, you can tell. So you're not gonna tell me this man that look like he Tom Brady's first cousin, or your ass didn't know. Oh, sir, you knew. I'm sorry. And all this stuff about the age, oh, he was 18 and he was 40, making all this excuse. When you're 18, you're old enough. You can't wait to have sex. SEX. I shouldn't have said that, but you can't wait. So please stop bringing up this age limit thing, because I don't want to hear it. 18, that's legal. You're old enough. Ain't no one playing with your head. You know what your sexuality is at that point. We know in a doggone middle school. You're just struggling with yours as a black male who's in a very masculine sport, and you don't want nobody to know. Word is, from what I'm hearing that's being thrown out there, is that there was payment involved. Maybe the second round there weren't payment involved. Word also is that his friends may have knew something about this and was telling him that's you messing with a man and he trying to play it off or whatever, something like that. So to prove that he didn't know, he wanted to take it to that level and kill her. So it could prove, oh well, I must not have known if I killed her. Why would I do that if I knew all along? I remember that case happened with a biker that was in a gang. I don't think he was a biker, but he was in a gang. And he killed his trans lover. Because they found out. So in order to act like, because if he was in a gang, he didn't want them to kill him. Because that's a rule. So he killed her. He stabbed her up. And he said he did it to try to make it look like, well, I didn't know. Like, why would I kill? Like, that's what they do. But that's what he's into. I'm not stupid. Like, I don't care what wig makeup you slap on. Like, it's too much going on. Traveling 35 minutes. You get there. The lights is kind of dark or whatever. Is it always dark every time you go there? And all she want to do is give all you want fellatio. You travel 35 minutes to just get fellatio, and all these natural born women that is mostly on that app, you could have hit up that was in 1 mile, 2-3 mile radius. And you're a decent looking athlete. Miss me with the BS. I'm not buying it. It's just too much going on with the story that just not make sense. And for the people who say it makes sense, I think you just want it to make sense because it's a killing of a trans or a crossdresser or someone from that community that you just don't care about. So that's just my opinion on this situation. It's heavy out there. Ladies, be careful, because I'm telling you, it is a lot of people that's in the rainbow community that is out there. And a lot of them also don't look the part. They don't look gay, like stereotypical gay and flamboyant. And they be on some DL stuff. I know some of them. I know quite a bit. They're out there. So keep your eyes sharp. And if your gaydars off, fix it, honey. Please do fix it. Because they out there deep. But that's all I got to see on this situation. Comment in the comment section what y'all think. I really want to follow up this situation and see what they expose in the trial, because I'm not buying it.